Jamie Carragher sat down on CBS Sports Global and addressed his very controversial, I would say racist comments regarding Mo Salah's inability to win the Ballon d'Or because he plays for Egypt. Very dumb, very bigoted, very uninformed view of how world football is and how certain people view certain tournaments. Maybe if you are being somewhat forgiving, you would say the reason why he said that was kind of just wanting to be brutally honest about Mo Salah's possibilities of winning the Ballon d'Or. But I still think a player playing like Mo Salah at his level, playing for Liverpool, banging in the goals that he does, you know, pushing them to win the Premier League, maybe even pushing them to win the Champions League, and he also wins the Afcon, why wouldn't that increase his chances to win the fucking Ballon d'Or? Why wouldn't it? You know? And if you're saying the Ballon d'Or, if you're saying Afcon isn't as prestigious or doesn't give you clout as much as any other tournament, then that's you being racist, because competitions like the Copa Libertadores are somehow rated higher than the Afcon when the standard of football is probably the same, and the Euros is fucking boring compared to the World Cup. So that doesn't make any complete sense. And also, if a player, you know, comes from a nation where they're not the strongest internationally, does that also mean that they're never going to win the fucking Ballon d'Or? That doesn't make any sense either. So let's hear Jamie Carragher try to address his comments. Essentially, all he needs to do in this reply is apologize. That's all he needs to do. But knowing Jamie Carragher, knowing how narcissistic, knowing how ego-driven he is, and knowing how much of a downright cunt he is, he's probably not going to apologize. But what he should do is apologize and just say, yep, I misread it. I apologize for my statements. They were obviously rude. They were obviously disrespectful to the tournament. I obviously hold it up in esteem. I was just sharing my opinion on what I think Mo Salah's chance of winning the thing is. But it doesn't mean Afcon is not a celebrated tournament. But let's hear how he approaches it.
It is good to be here with everybody, because we had worried that some of us may be cancelled in the meantime, since the last show that we were together. Not to joke.
By the way, I like how Henry's not smiling. I like how Michael's gone quiet too. They're not smiling. No one's saying anything. He should have been cancelled. By the way, how did he not get cancelled for spitting at that girl's face? That's the greatest example of white privilege. Jamie Carragher and Luke Shaw being at Man United. Those are two examples of white privilege. Like how is Luke Shaw still at Man United with his fucking crazy injury record? It's nearly 10 years. I think it might be 10 years this year. And how did Jamie Carragher keep his job at Sky Sports after spitting, phlegm, and all sorts at a fucking fan when they drive by him in a fucking car? Because you got annoyed at some of the questioning, or you got annoyed at being teased. So he decided to hurl some phlegm at some young girl as they're driving by him in a car. How did he get away with that? Honestly, white privilege is real.
About it, we do want to address the whole Afcon issue, Jamie, because you have caused some offence, or a good deal of offence, since we were last together. You basically, just to set the scene, you were talking about Mo Salah and the probability or not of him winning the Ballon d'Or, and you said that it would be difficult for him because he isn't playing in a major tournament. And
even when she says it, big up Kate Abdo. Even when she says it, it sounds horrible. Even when she just summarizes it. He can't win a major tournament because he doesn't. He can't win the Ballon d'Or because he doesn't play in a major tournament. Like what? So because he's African, he can't win the Ballon d'Or. It doesn't count because he's not playing for he's not from a European nation. He's not representing France. Like he's not representing Germany. He's not representing Switzerland or something. He's not representing fucking, God forbid, England. He can't win a major. He can't win a Ballon d'Or because he plays for Egypt. Honestly, man, what a fucking cunt.
That was seen as kind of dismissive or disrespectful of
racist.
Of Afcon. Is there anything that you would like to say to kind of address the offence that was caused to, I guess, the African community in some way?
Well, what I would say is you know me better than anybody.
Oh, he's going for the I've got black friends. He's going for the defence. Like, Kate, you're mixed. You're a bit black, right? You're a bit mulatto. You got a bit of cocoa. You got a bit of cocoa powder in you. I'm nice to you, aren't I? Michael, I'm nice to you, and you're black as fuck.
Joe, and I've got very strong opinions on the game. I love debate, and that will never change. But what I would never want to be described as a pundit would be ignorant or disrespectful. So that was never, my aim. And whether that's to a player, a club, a country, a continent, an international tournament, whatever that may be. So what I would say is where I got it wrong.
Can you just apologise for what you said, you fucking cunt? It's not that difficult. Just apologise and say sorry. How difficult is that? How difficult is it to just apologise? How difficult is it just to say sorry? Honestly, how difficult? How difficult? Honestly, please tell me. Yo, big up Carlton Littleton. Appreciate you, brother. Big up Carlton. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. We are back. Appreciate you, Carlton. Appreciate you, Carlton.
I was clumsy with my language in describing.
Clumsy with my language. Fuck off.
Afcon is not a major tournament. I was trying to explain the merits of Mo Salah winning the Ballon d'Or, as you've just said. And
you know what's funny about this, by the way? He's talking about Mo Salah, a player that plays for his boyhood club, Liverpool. And he's being disrespectful. He's dumbing down his star. He's pouring cold water on his possibility of winning the Ballon d'Or. You think a boyhood Liverpool fan like Jamie Carragher will be running all sorts of propaganda for Salah to win the Ballon d'Or, right? He'd be pushing that narrative super hard. But he's such a hater, right? He's so miserable. He's such a cunt. He can't even run propaganda for his own star player of the club that he loves and adores. Absolutely wild.
I felt or feel that not just Afcon, I would say, you know, the Asia Games, the Gold Cup, not so much the Copa America, but there's 5 major tournaments out there besides the World Cup that are for their continent and are obviously a major tournament. But some of them don't resonate with the people who vote for the Ballon d'Or. And that for me was not an opinion. That was like a fact in terms of looking who'd won the Ballon d'Or over the last sort of 40, 50 years. So, yes, I've been banging the drum for Mo Salah to become the first African player to win the Ballon d'Or for, you know, I think since George Weah in the mid-90s. And as I said, I should have been a lot tidier with my language around that. So, yes, that's something that I look at. But as I said, you do look at sort of...
That's something I look at. Say sorry, you cunt. Say sorry. I shouldn't have been so disrespectful to the cup competition. I shouldn't have diminished or dismissed its relevancy or its importance to a whole group of people and to a nation of people, right? Like, that's what you need to say. Just say fucking sorry. This fucking guy, man.
You know, the Euros where it's at right now and other competitions, and some of them resonate with the Ballon d'Or voters.
Look at Henry's face. Look at Henry's face. Fucking brilliant. Great TV. Look at Henry's face. Look at Mike Richards' face. Looking at this guy. Look at him. He just can't say sorry, can he? People that refuse to say sorry and stand by this, oh, I have strong opinions thing. It's like, yeah, you can have strong opinions, but when you get it wrong, when you do a little bit of an oopsie, when you step your foot in it, just say sorry. It's not that difficult, really. Everyone moves on. It's not that difficult. Most people aren't saying he's a racist. I am, because I want to be inflammatory. But most people don't think Jamie Carragher is racist. They just think what he said was incredibly ignorant. All you need to say is sorry. It's not that difficult.
With the Ballon d'Or voters, who at times are journalists, national coaches, national captains. And one of the reasons might be because I think sometimes we forget the Ballon d'Or is was the European Footballer of the Year. So maybe
Look at him trying to educate us on why racism is okay. Look at him trying to educate us on why it's okay to think an African player has no chance of winning the Ballon d'Or because they play for an African nation. Fuck off.
A bias towards maybe the Euros or European football in the past. So it was definitely not my aim to offend anybody. I know I've done that a lot in the past in different guises, shall we say, but maybe...
Stop laughing. We're not joking. We're not laughing with you. We're not laughing. We're not joking. We don't find you funny. We don't find you amusing. Just apologize and move on, you prick.
Different players or teams, but that was certainly not the case. And yes, hopefully that's now addressed there.
Would you like to share any thoughts on the Gold Cup before we go?
Honestly, fucking hate him. Anyway, at least he addressed it and tried to say sorry in a roundabout way. That was his way of saying sorry, basically. But I'm glad that people like John Obi Mikel, actually, let me get that clip up, actually. Let's see if I can get that. John Obi Mikel absolutely went in on him. That was really good to fucking see. John Obi Mikel, and then we can continue on, had some very, very strong words to say about Jamie Carragher. I think he said it the best, actually, and then we can move on from there. But fuck Jamie Carragher, man. We're not really messing with that guy. Big up Izanella. That accent is Liverpudlian. He's from Liverpool. He is from Liverpool. That's the accent where it sounds like he's got phlegm in his mouth. It sounds like he's about to spit. But lovely people, though. I went to Liverpool recently, a few months ago. Lovely people, man. One of my favorite places to go to in the UK. Great nights out, great people, great vibe, great restaurants, great bars. Really, really fun place to go. Manchester, Liverpool, anywhere outside London, basically. It's super fun on a night out, as opposed to fucking London. Yeah, here he goes. Here's John Obi Mikel. Big up John Obi Mikel. Big up John Obi Mikel. laying it down on fucking Carragher and telling him to fuck off.
We talk about you can't sit there. There's so many kids growing up. We talk about inclusion as well. This is we only talk about inclusion in society, talk about inclusion in the world. And we try to change things like that in the world. The perception of people. This doesn't help when somebody like you that has a massive following that sits there in one of the biggest, platform in the world and make comments like this, and you talk about inclusion.
Exactly.
Because you think the Euros is more better because of what?
Exactly.
There is no escape to this. I just think his statement is so bad. And again, I've said it, because the African Cup of Nations is as big. I don't care what you say, because I've played in it. I've won it. I've won it.
Big boy.
It's not his fucking place
to
discredit the African Cup of Nations.
Agreed.
It's not his fucking place.
Agreed.
Yeah. I can see you're angry. And a lot of
I am fucking angry. I am fucking angry.
And it's because
he spent so many years playing for Liverpool. He didn't win the Premier League. And he sits there week in, week out telling people, teaching, coaching, trying to tell people how to win the Premier League.
Exactly.
And you haven't won it. To all African people, to all fucking
Big
African
Johnny
people who
Mikel.
tune in, week out, watching the Premier League, watching Sky Sports, watching Sky Sports. One of the biggest in the world. I know how Africans don't have money to eat.
Exactly.
They're starving. But what happens? They watch the fucking Premier League.
Exactly.
They watch you on the weekend.
Exactly.
And you sit there, open your mouth, and discredit the whole fucking African continent, saying your African nations tournament is shit. It's shit. That it has no value because it's not Euros or the Copa America.
Exactly.
He can fuck off.
Thank God. Thank someone said that.
He can fuck off.
Say it again. Fuck
I'm telling
off.
you.
I love it.
Because we know in Africa what we bring to the Premier League, what the players that come into the Premier League bring to the Premier League from Africa. The players that have played in this tournament, that have come out, represented Africa boldly. Some of the best. Starting from George Weah, who's won the Ballon d'Or, by the way.
last African,
He's African.
Only African.
He's African.
And you look at the players, John.
Big up Johnny Mikel. That's all that needs to be said. Also, big up the host of this show on the Obi-Wan show. I don't know his name. Apologies. But big up the host for giving Johnny Mikel the room to rant. I think he was trying to get some questions out there, and you realized how fucking hot Johnny Mikel was, and you just gave him the platform to just rant and go fucking crazy. Big up that guy for noticing what was going on and not fucking interjecting just for the sake of interjecting and letting him say what he's saying. I fucking loved it.